So welcome to Stallion AI Services. We've just moved into this purpose-built centre last April, and I'm just going to give you a quick tour around of the facilities and some of the people that work here, and you can see what goes on behind the scenes. So this is the reception. This is the first port of call when people arrive here, and we have Cassie on the desk. Cassie looks after everybody when they arrive, and also she's our events organiser, running all our events upstairs, running training courses, CPD courses and further training courses as well. So she's an integral part of our team, and we'll go on to the office and meet some of the others. So welcome to the heart of the Stallion AI Services. This is all the team who are in the offices who take your calls when they're coming in. We've got Emma here who's on accounts, who does all the bill chasing and sending out all the invoices and paying all the bills. We've actually got John here today, who's our resident stud vet. He does all our swabbing, signing all the health papers. Hopefully we're going to do a video presentation on that at some point as well. Got Faye, who's the first person to call. When you ring up, she's going to be really the first person you're going to speak to on the phone and diverts your calls to wherever they need to be. We've got Joe, who's the interim manager here at the moment, standing in Kate's shoes while she's on maternity leave, and she's really overseeing, making sure that we're all kept in tune and looking after us all and making sure the ship is running in a straight line. Steph here is doing all our semen sales, so she looks after all the stallions like Arco, Big Star, Mercus Gem, and doing all the semen sales, taking your calls and making sure that the semen goes to the right place at the right time with the right person. And then we've got Hannah here, who's a new part of the team. She's our PR person, doing all our web stuff and making sure our Facebook's up to date and putting on all these new videos, and at the moment just preparing for our open day. And now we'll go and have a word with the team in the lab. So welcome to the main lab of Stallion AI Services. We've got a few different departments here. We actually have a research part of the lab here, so we can do a bit of research, or if we're making up actually any extenders and things like that, we do that in here. As you can see, we've got quite a bit of space in here. We've got Pam, who's our lab manager, and she looks after the whole of the lab, is in charge of the whole of the lab and everybody who works in there. And pretty much the semen comes in from the collection area into where the microscope's in, and we work around the lab in a methodical order, so we've got quite a few centrifuges, and then we end up by filling and printing the straws in the far room, and then we'll go over and have a look into the freezing room. So this is where all the frozen semen's processed. So when the orders come in and you want the semen shipping out, they first come into this room, we put them on the board, and depending on how urgent they are, we move them across. So you can see today we've still got quite a few orders to process. We like this board cleared by the end of the day. So the orders are processed in here. We have to get permission obviously from the owners before we can ship the semen, and obviously we've got to find out where it's got to go to and everything else. This is Bethany, who is here, who works, does all the frozen, also she does the chilled side. We have another board up here for all our exports. So at the moment we're trying to get semen ready for Australia back in September. And obviously we've got quite a few other countries like America, Netherlands and Italy which are ongoing. So this is where all the first sort of semen orders come in initially, so for handling and processing. And now we'll go on to the actual storage rooms where the actual semen is stored. This is one of our two storage facilities here. We've got a storage room next door, which is all the UK stuff. This is all the export stuff that we've got here. And we have to keep the two separate for regulations, so this semen here could go anywhere around Europe, really maybe all around the world, be it America, Australia, New Zealand and South Africa. We can hold about sort of 500,000 straws in this flask, and then behind you on the shelves you've got the shipping flasks, and they're designed to be able to ship semen safely anywhere pretty much in the world. So that's the export room. Now we're going into the UK room. So this is the other room. I say we have two of these rooms, and everything in here is for UK, so it can only stay within the UK because it's only got to go within certain health testing for export. So these obviously stallions have only had limited health testing, but it's exactly the same. We can hold about 500,000 straws in this flask, as you can see by all the tanks there all ready to charged up to go out. We have about 65 of these shipping flasks, and in the height of the summer pretty much most of them are gone out to vets, you know, all over the UK, and if it's from next door, anywhere around in Europe. So now we've had a look around the lab and those parts of the facilities. This is what we call as the dirty room. This is where we prepare the AVs, the artificial vaginas, before collecting. As you can see, we've had a bit of a busy day already today. We've collected off sort of 10 or 11 stallions, and then that brings us into the collection area. So this is our collection area. This is where all the business happens, so to speak. So the stallions come in through the doors and then they jump on the dummy. We've got a purpose-built flooring, so it's much more secure for the stallions. We have a teaser mare in the box to tease the stallions and stimulate the stallions. We've got a balcony if we are actually doing any courses or training. And yeah, so let's go and have a look at the stallions out in the barn. So we just come out of the collection area now. As you can see over here, we've got 2 barns of 28 stables, 14 in each barn. We have got a further barn, an isolation barn, which can take a further 10. So this is where you can see they all get the heads looking out, and so obviously it keeps them nice and calm. But we'll go and have a look. Let's have a look at some of the stallions in the barn now. So this is one of our 2 stallion barns that we have here. We've got a variety of horses in at the moment, like we've got a Suffolk and a few different ones here at the moment. We've specifically designed these stables so they're 11 foot high, so the stallions can't actually touch heads. They've all got their own individual lockers, so we can keep all their stuff unique to them, and we keep it all color coordinated. In this barn, everything's red, so we can't get anything mixed up from barn to barn with all the rugs and everything else. We try to keep it as these boxes as big as we can. So sometimes these stallions are so are quite big. We put rubber matting on the floor as well, so it's if they do roll or anything, it shouldn't cut the hocks. And as you can see, they're nice and spacious boxes. They've all got their own CCTV camera. This way we can monitor the stallions 24/7. Also, if a stallion is a bit stressed out, we can actually notice that, because all these things can affect semen quality. So we want the stallions as peaceful and as calm as we can get them, and keeping an eye on them all the time. Actually, we can get a bit of an idea how they're actually getting on in the stable, whether they're nice and relaxed or actually whether they're stressed out or not. So it's really important that the horses here are exercised, whether it be turned out, ridden, or even on the walker. So we try and get them out in the paddocks for an hour a day, and if they can go on the walker for 20 minutes or an hour, whatever the stallion owners need. This is where we can keep the fitness topped up, so hopefully when they go home they're still just as fit as when they arrived. We've got about sort of 6 or 7 individual turnout paddocks here, and it's really important to try and get the stallions out. It keeps their mind straight, keeps them not so stressed out, and if we can get them out, and all that can help the semen quality at the end of the day. So we try and get the stallions out at least an hour a day if possible. I think it's really important. We weigh the stallions about 3 times a week. Sometimes when they come into this environment, sometimes they can put on a lot of weight, sometimes they can lose weight. And it's obviously important for us to find out whether the weight's going up or down. Then we can obviously alter their feed accordingly, and hopefully send them home pretty much the same way as they arrived, or whatever the owner wants. We just recently installed this new solarium. This is great obviously for warming the stallions up, the muscles before collecting. Also obviously we bath them as well for drying them off. It's something obviously they quite enjoyed. It's like a human spa here. So this is our second barn. So again, this is where we keep stallions really for the UK market. So we have to keep the 2 barns separate from worldwide and domestic. And again, this is the blue barn. So we try and keep everything separate in here. So if we have a look and say that this one's Lockie, you can see all the blue coats and so on. And again, they're very similar design to the other barn as well. So another part of our centre that we've got here, we've got an outdoor all-weather arena, a 60 by 40 arena. This means we can actually ride the horses, school the horses. So this offers lots more sort of opportunities for stallion owners. So as you can see here, we've got Lucinda, who's one of our in-house riders, doing a bit of dressage. It means we can carry on keeping these stallions up to tip-top condition, fully fit, whether it be show jumping, dressage or eventing, and they can carry on a breeding schedule as well as a competition schedule at the same time.